What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? The 2025 NFL Draft is in full swing, and your Kansas City Chiefs are stacking talent up to keep this dynasty alive. Today, we're breaking down three absolute steals. Omarr Norman-Lott, defensive tackle from Tennessee, taken in the second round at pick 63. Ashton Gillotte, edge rusher from Louisville, snagged in the third round at pick 66. And the latest addition, Cal quarterback Nohl Williams, grabbed at pick 85 in the third round after a trade with the Patriots. These guys are ready to light it up for Steve Spagnuolo's defense. We've got their college stats, strengths, weaknesses, and why they're perfect for KC. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive in.
First up, Omarr Norman-Lott, the explosive defensive tackle out of Tennessee. This guy's a lightning bolt on the interior line, and Chiefs fans, you're going to love what he brings next to Chris Jones. Let's start with his college stats. Norman-Lott spent his early years at Arizona State, where he showed flashes but didn't get consistent reps. After transferring to Tennessee, he turned heads in the SEC, racking up 9.5 sacks in 2 seasons, despite being a rotational player. In 2024, he was a pass-rushing machine with a ridiculous 18.9% win rate against blockers. That's elite. He only played about 225 snaps last season, so there's untapped potential there.
Now let's talk strengths. Norman-Lott's first step is like a sprinter off the blocks. He's 6'2", 295 pounds, but moves like a much smaller guy. His hand usage is sharp, setting up moves to slip past guards, and he's got the agility to loop in stunts or win with speed around the edge. He's versatile, lining up anywhere from the one technique to the 4-eye. And what is a one technique versus a 4-eye? Well, that's a question for another time, but it basically boils down to the difference between a 4-3 and a 3-4. So this man can play both. He has a super high motor that keeps him fighting through the whistle, just like fan favorite George Karlaftis. Scouts have compared him to legendary Chiefs Hall of Famer Tamba Hali. But he's not perfect. Norman-Lott's biggest weakness is run defense. His lower body strength needs work, so he can get washed out by double teams or lose his gap if blockers get under his pads. At 291 pounds, he's a bit undersized for a defensive tackle, which hurts his anchor against bigger linemen. He also needs to refine his technique. 5 years in college, and his hand placement can still be inconsistent. But with Steve Spagnuolo's defense, in Spags we trust, these are fixable problems.
So why does he fit in Spagnuolo's defense? The Chiefs need a rotational pass rusher to complement Chris Jones, especially after losing Tershawn Wharton in free agency. Norman-Lott's explosiveness makes him a day-one impact player on passing downs, and with Spags' creative fronts, he'll be a nightmare in sub-packages. If he bulks up and polishes his run defense, he could be a long-term starter. Next, let's talk Ashton Gillotte, the edge rusher from Louisville, taken at pick 66. This guy's a sack machine who flew under the radar, but he has the production to turn heads. Here's what he did in college.
Gillotte was a 4-year contributor at Louisville, but 2023 was his breakout, with 11 sacks and 15 tackles for a loss. In 2024, he kept it rolling with 4.5 sacks and showed he's not just a one-trick pony by holding his own against the run. Over his career, he racked up 41 tackles for a loss and 26.5 sacks. That's serious production.
Gillotte's strengths are his relentless motor and versatility. At 6'3", 275 pounds, he's got a thick frame and he plays with serious power, bulldozing tackles or setting a hard edge against the run. His hand fighting is advanced and he's got a knack for converting speed to power. collapsing pockets with bull rushes. He's also scheme versatile, fitting as a 4-3 end or a 3-4 outside linebacker. His 26.5 sacks shows how he can finish plays, and his 174 pressures prove he's always around the quarterback. On the flip side, Gillotte isn't the most explosive athlete. His first step is solid but not elite, and he can struggle against speedier tackles who get to his outside shoulder. His bend around the edge is average, so he relies more on power than finesse. He also needs to develop a deeper pass rush plan. Right now, he leans heavily on his bull rush. Against NFL tackles, he'll need more counters to keep them guessing.
So why is Gillotte a great pick for KC? It's definitely not the ease and pronunciation of his name. The Chiefs' edge group is solid with George Karlaftis, but FAU hasn't fully panned out yet. However, he might this year. And Charles Omenihu is on a one-year deal, trying to work for a payday. Gillotte gives Spags a high floor, high-effort player who can rotate in and now potentially start in 2026. His power and run defense make him a day-one contributor, and with coaching, he could add more pass rush moves to become a double-digit sack guy for years to come. Now, let's talk about the newest Chief and maybe the one I'm most excited about, Nohl Williams. The Cal quarterback taken at pick 85 after a trade with the Patriots. This guy is a ball hawk who's ready to bolster KC's secondary. Here's what he did in college.
Williams was a 5-year player at Cal, but 2024 was his breakout, leading the nation with 7 picks and shutting down receivers with a 12.3 passer rating allowed. That's lockdown. His 14 career interceptions and 25 pass breakups show he's got elite ball skills. At 6 foot, 199 pounds, he's got the size and experience, over 3,300 snaps, to step into the NFL right away. Strengths: Williams is a physical press man corner who loves getting in receivers' faces. His one-arm jab at the line is nasty, forcing receivers outside, and he sticks to their hip on inside releases. His ball skills are unreal. 14 career picks, they don't lie. And he's got great instincts in the zone, jumping routes like a veteran. He's also a willing tackler, bringing edge in run support, and his competitiveness is off the charts. Scouts really like his aggressive behavior at the line. He's not afraid to get chippy.
What about weaknesses, though? Williams' footwork needs work. He takes false steps in press and can lose early against quick inside releases, something he's going to have to deal with a lot in the NFL. He plays on his heels sometimes, which savvy NFL receivers will definitely exploit. He's grabby when beat, which could draw flags, and his zone coverage isn't as polished as his man skills. His athleticism is solid, but not elite, with tight hips limiting his recovery speed. Why does Williams fit KC? Super Bowl 59 definitely exposed the Chiefs' secondary depth issues. Some out of the know might think Trent McDuffie's locked in at quarterback number 1, but us here at Chiefs Kingdom know that Trent McDuffie is going back to the middle and he's playing slot. We'll have Christian Fulton playing outside corner, and Williams gives Spags a solid quarterback too if Jalen Watson doesn't come back from injury strong. One thing about Williams that's awesome is Spagnuolo's aggressive scheme. He loves to run man and he loves to press coverage. Both Williams and the free agent Fulton we got are both fantastic at that. If Williams cleans up his technique, he could be a steal at 85.
Well, there it is, Chiefs Kingdom. Omarr Norman-Lott, Ashton Gillotte, and Nohl Williams are bringing heat to Kansas City's defense. Norman-Lott's pass rush pop, Gillotte's relentless power, and Williams' ball hawking instincts are exactly what Spags needs to keep this unit elite. This draft class could be the key to getting back to the Super Bowl and chasing that 4th ring. What do you think of these picks, Chiefs Kingdom? Drop your takes in the comments and tell us who else you want us to cover. So like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any more of our Chiefs content. Let's keep that kingdom rolling. Peace out. This draft like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Is that really a thing? Okay. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss any more of our Chiefs content. Let's keep that was probably stupid anyway.
Weaknesses where Williams' footwork needs a little work. He takes false steps in press and can lose early, quick inside releases. He plays on his heels sometimes, which is a savvy NFL receiver move.
I wish I had a really good heart attack.
If you did, we'd do it. Weaknesses. Williams' footwork needs a little work. Needs work. He's taking false steps in press and can lose early against quick inside releases. No, let's not do it. Let's not do it. But I don't know. Irish accent is on right now. I got it pretty good. It comes and it goes, you know.